Hello monster breeders. In part 5 of our tutorial series, we'll be tidying up our code a little and creating a new room for our player to wander around. This will be the launch pad for adding some exciting new features. So let's get started. Alright, so before we get into the good stuff, we're going to clean up our code. Otherwise it's going to be a bit unmanageable later on. Because we may not come back to this bit for a while. So let's check our scripts first. SCR create monsters. SCR breed. We're going to make a new script and it's going to be called SCR reset a features. And it's just going to be used to empty the A features array for whatever object is calling it. Copy this, paste it there. Yeah. OBJ monster, we're just going to delete it because we don't need it anymore. OBJ main, change this. Let's get rid of the comments as well that we don't need. Don't need that either. Don't need that. And I don't think we need this either, because we're checking for clicks in OBJ storage. Yeah. We'll leave it there for now, but just comment it out. Breed button. I'm going to leave this for now. Just make a comment here. So if both boxes have a monster, breed. Okay, that's it for now. So let's get on to the next part. So after running the game, I've got a small bug. Let's check it out. Reset A features. So let's check this. Gmain. A feature size. Okay, we're calling the script before we've assigned the global, so we're going to call the script there instead. There we go. A feature's not set. Oh. Yeah, we're going to have to type out A features first. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. One more time. Okay, so before we start creating our movement in our grid, I'm just going to show you the sprites that I've created. I've got SBR grass, which is 64 by 64, and the origin is in the top left. And I've got SPR tree, again 64 by 64, origin in the top left. And I also used a website to create the character for up, down, left and right. It's free to use, and there should be a link showing on the screen now. It's really easy to use too. Okay, so we're going to create an object and we're going to call it obj grid, and in the create event we're going to set up some variables. We're going to have grid size equals 64. If you're using different size sprites to me, then whatever size sprites you're using for this grid bit, put it there. Try and keep it something like 32 or 64 though, just so it's nice and even. and easily dividable by 4. Start cell. Start cell equals 0. H cells equals room width divided by grid size. V cells equals room height divided by grid size. I think that's it for now. Oh yeah, and ds grid equals ds grid create, and it's asking for the width, so h cells divided by 1, and height v cells minus 1. Okay, if you're not sure what a ds grid is, it's very similar to a 2D array. And now we're going to create the grid. So for var yy equals start cell, yy is less than v cells yy plus plus. For var xx equals start cell, xx is less than h cells xx plus plus. And then we're going to say ds grid xxyy equals 0, and I also want there to be a chance for trees, so roll equals I random 9. If roll equals 0, ds grid xxyy equals 1. The way we're going to work this is when we're drawing our room, we're going to say if the x and y value is equal to 0, then it's going to draw grass for all. It's going to draw grass for every square, and then if the ds grid is equal to 1, the x y value is equal to 1, then we're going to draw a tree on top of it. I think we can actually do it now. So we'll go into the draw event, and again for var yy equals 0, yy is less than start cell, yy is less than v cells yy plus plus. For var xx equals start cell, xx is less than h cells xx plus plus. Draw sprite SPR grass 0, and it's xx times grid size yy times grid size, and this is going to draw grass every 64 pixels. What's the error? Grass, oh sorry, semicolon, there we go. And we're also going to say if ds grid xxyy equals 1, draw sprite xx times grid size yy times grid size. Oh, my bad. Should be the sprite first. SPR tree 0. Okay, cool. Now we need to create the room. So create room. We're going to call it RM adventure. We need to drag it to the top So this will be the first room that loads, like that. And I'm gonna have my room be 1280 by 960, and I'm also going to add in a viewport. Enable viewports, viewport 0, make it visible, and I want this to be 1280 by 960. It's the same as the size of the room, but so the camera is 1280 by 960, but the viewport is going to be 640 by 480. Okay, and we need to add OBJ grid into this room as well. So let's run the game, see how many errors I get this time. Okay, cool. So now we're going to create an object for the player. So new object, obj player. We're going to give him the downward sprite first to start with, and we're going to, in the create event, we're going to say move speed equals 4. So this is how many pixels he's going to move every step, and this is going to be our movement code. We're just going to be doing some really basic movement for now, because what we're really going to focus on is having random battles, and we can have some better movement later on. But also we're not going to have any collision for now. So the trees are just there to make it a bit more interesting. So if keyboard check pressed, actually check, yeah, check odd A, x minus equals move speed. So if A is held down, then we're going to continuously move 4 pixels to the left. Copy and paste. If we're pressing D, then we want to go to the right. If we're pressing W, then our Y is going to decrease by our move speed. Copy paste. And if we press S, then we want to go down, which is plus equals. Alright, now we need to add our player into the room. So RM adventure, stick our player there. Actually, let's put a check. So if X plus move speed is greater than 0, then do this. Else X equals 0. That's not going to do it. I'm trying to stop our character from walking off the edge of the map. But the origin is, oh yeah, it's on the top left, isn't it? Let's have a look. Top left. Yeah, so that will actually work for that piece of code. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So if we're pressing right, however, then if X plus sprite width plus move speed is less than room width, then x plus equals to move speed. Else x equals room width minus sprite width. So we're taking into account the fact that we need to leave 64 pixels between the right edge of the map and our character. Okay, so if we're going up, the origin is at the top, so we can just copy this. And change it to y and minus. So y minus move speed is greater than 0. Yeah. Else y equals 0. And for this last one, if y plus sprite height plus move speed is greater than room height, then do this. Else y equals room height minus sprite height. Yeah, okay. Let's run this and see how it works. Oh my god. So that's wrong. It's always typing mistakes, isn't it? And this should be x minus. If x minus move speed is greater than 0. Wow. Try again. Why does it jump when you press down? Yes. If y plus sprite height plus move speed is greater than room height, it should be less than room height. Wow. Okay, so we've got some basic movement. It's not fantastic, but it's okay for now. He moves across the screen. Let's also we're gonna make him change sprite based on the direction he's moving, and then we're gonna end this part from there, and we'll continue next time. So yeah, we can do this in the step event. Sprite index equals SBR player move left. Move right. Move up and move down. Let's also set the image speed to 0.2. And I think we're going to pause in walking, so we'll say if x previous equals x, and y previous equals y. So this function just records where the x coordinate was on the previous step. It's quite handy for checking whether you've moved or not. Image speed equals 0, else image speed equals 0.2. Let's run this again. So he changes to left, now right, down and up. Cool. Alright guys, so that's going to conclude our tutorial for this part. Next episode we're going to have random encounters. We're also going to need to introduce stats and like a battle system as well to go along with that. So we'll see how far we get next time. Bye for now.